Hey, Tim Vandersloot here. Alright, so I've been carving on this gourd, and as I was carving, a big smile came to my face because I reached, well, the ugly duckling phase of carving, and this happens to every carving, so let me talk about that next. So one of the big things that I've noticed over and over and over again, right from the very beginning of when I started power carving, was that there was always this point that I would say that the carving really looked like, the whole fable of the ugly duckling, all right? I reached that part of the carving and now a big smile comes to my face because I can tell that I am getting into it. The carving is starting to come together. It looks a lot worse off than when it was brand new before I started carving, and it's kind of like that awkward stage in between the beginning and the end. And so let me zoom in on this and show you a little bit of what I mean when it comes to this type of phase of a carving. All right, so this is an acanthus leaf gourd project that I'm working on. It's a semi-repeating pattern of acanthus leaves wrapping around the gourd. And one of the things you'll notice, and it might look pretty good, at this point I always have to walk away because I know that I just need a break, and I'll come back and I can see the next step a lot clearer. But you might see, there's still a lot of marker on here and pencil marks, and the carving is very rough. I used a really large, well, I shouldn't say really large, I used a fairly large burr, round burr carbide to go ahead and get to this stage. Along the way I'd stop and I'd pull out the pencil and I'd make marks or use a Sharpie on it and then try to leave some of the Sharpie so I knew what was going on later on down the road. And one of the really fun things about this stage of the carving is I really like it, even though it looks more like a mess than anything else. Because what I found is it's really, just a fun stage of the overall carving. Now all I've done is gone in and roughed out some layers and levels and established, what petal or what leaf sits on top of the other one, and just kind of sharpen up a few lines, but mostly just removing waste material and giving me an idea of where I want to go with it next. All right, so I'm going to continue carving this, but I found this with every single one of my carvings that I've done. I get to a certain point and it's just like, boy, this isn't going to come together. There's no way this is going to work. It doesn't look good. And in the beginning, it was a big temptation to set it aside. Say, oh, it didn't work out. Put it aside and try something else. What I ended up having to really focus on was sticking to it. Getting to this stage where it doesn't look like the picture in your head. Okay, it doesn't look like the picture in my head yet, but I can see it's in there. All right, you got to push past that. When you reach that point, say, hey, just finish it out. The mistakes that you make, it's all practice, it's all learning. In fact, some of the mistakes I make, I definitely leave in there because it adds character to the piece, and it doesn't look like a mistake after I've gone in and made the corrections and the changes and stuff. So if you reach this stage in any of your carvings, take heart, all right? It's not the end of the world. Keep pushing at it. Don't let the ugly duckling phase of the carving get you down. All right? So with that, hey, come on over to carvingonwood.com if you'd like to follow along more with this project or see it as it comes out on the online school. But hey, have fun, be safe, and enjoy all your power carving experiences. All right? We'll talk to you later.